What's going on, everybody? Stand by for just 1 second here as I get something fixed because I don't know that it's fixed. How about them Devils? I don't know why the stream's not coming up completely right for me right now. Hang tight. How about them Devils? How about them Cats? Oh, that's what March is all about, pimping your own team. Why am I not seeing it though? Hang on a minute. I got an issue here. I've been lazy, Mark. I've been lazy, bro. Just saying. Straight up laziness is what this is about. Hey, I wanted to take some time to come in here because uh, last year we had a demonetized stream because I showed everything a little bit early. So I figured I would wait until after it was done. I have not looked at the bracket just yet, and I wanted to get everybody's early thoughts. Also, take a gander down in the description. The March Madness PICKEM is the first line in there. I think that will send you to the community tab, and that's where the link is at, something like that. But just so everybody knows is that we have two opportunities. You can create two brackets this year. So that is an option. Also, Amazon gift card to the winner. Let's see who can pick the best, and we'll go from there. I'm getting ready to pop up this bracket, and the first thing I want to mention is everybody seems to be on the UConn train, and I haven't even looked at the bracket yet. So I'm going to fire that up here really fast. I think I'm going to bring it up on the screen and then just talk behind it. Lindsay Brillhart, dear, how are you? Nice to see you. Indiana will not be going to the NIT. They declined their bid because they have recruiting woes. Something to talk about. Maybe here a little bit further down the road we'll talk. And Colin says selection snub day. I don't know who got snubbed, but we're gonna look at the bracket and we're gonna talk about some stuff and hopefully. Let's see what we get. Let me get this shared up here. FAU back in it. Pizzle, what do you think? Do you think Coach May leaves this year? That's a big question. Will Coach May leave after signing such a big contract? 10 years, I think. And Pizzle, how you doing, my friend? Let's see. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Let's go. Window. Where's it at? There it is. Hey, that's not the bracket. That's me. Let's see how that works. It is a big possibility. His name has came up countless times already. Nope, that's not correct. Why can I not share my screen? There it is. Let's see. That's the one I want. Okay. Let's get that thing as big as I can get it. Let's see what else. Pizzle, Illinois. Illinois looks good. I'm gonna stick to my guns as far as how I pick my games. Experienced backcourt, uh, electric wing, and the defender for the wing is my big priorities in the draft and the tournament. But let's see. Looking at UConn and their path, the only thing that I heard was while I was setting this up is they believe that their path is probably the toughest. So let's see. UConn and Stetson in the first round, that's kind of a wash game. Florida Atlantic and Northwestern. Dude, Dusty May and Florida Atlantic playing Chris Collins in the Northwestern Wildcats. Boo Buie, a fifth-year senior in that game. Florida Atlantic did not have the season they had hoped, but I believe they were the Final Four last year. I think that looks to be a great game. I'm a little disappointed that the Mountain West got 6 teams in. Not sure that that was deserved, but as an 8-9 game, Florida Atlantic and Northwestern looks like one of the early games that I'm definitely going to be interested in. Yeah, I can't get that at all. And I appreciate everybody's passion for their team and stuff like that. But usually, the Pac-12 uh, is the conference out there that gets teams in, and and usually there's a lot more talent in that conference. We'll just say that. And to see it be like it is this year, I'm really kind of confused about that. I'm not a big fan of the net, honestly, but looking at how that plays out, Purdue is a 1. Pac-12 is usually a good basketball conference. However, they generally don't have the march that they want. Look, last year, Arizona and Purdue both were early outs. And that's not a good look. Considering this is the last year for the Pac-12 as a conference, I just thought that it would be a better look than the Mountain West. Let's see. Looking down on that, San Diego State and UAB, kind of I find it hard to believe San Diego State is a legit 5, although I know that they're going to be a good team. Auburn and Yale. Auburn in that bracket really intrigues me. I believe that they have a lot of the tools that they need. Bruce Pearl is a pretty dang good coach, and it looks like there's a couple really good possibilities out of this little sub bracket. Yeah, I mean, it's just the scope of college, sports and the way everything's changing. I mean, it just seeing the Pac-12 go away does kind of bother me too, honestly. Looking down in the other part of that bracket, I'm a big Illinois fan for this tournament, and it's not because I'm a Big Ten fan. It's because I'm a Terrence Shannon fan. I think that dude's a stud. I think he's got a great opportunity in this tournament to just take over like he did in the Big Ten tournament. My problem with that is that I think these conference tournaments, especially the Big Ten, it's so physical, and you go through a big tournament, it's easy to have a letdown after that, and that's what worries me about Illinois at the same time. Oh, absolutely, Indiana's in the Big Ten. Here we go, man. I feel like Mark's getting ready to take a dig, man. He's getting ready to take a dig. But the conference tournament is it's very physical, and to play a 20-game conference schedule and then a 4-day game or 4-day tournament, and then go right back into playing the next week. I think it's a little big ask for all the major conferences. But given that Illinois at Moorhead, I've seen on the local news, they definitely light it up a little bit. A pretty good team. No, no, no. I am a Big Ten fan. I love the conference. I think it's the most NBA ready conference in America because of the physicality. Not so much for the guards, but definitely for the level of play. Going down through that though, Washington State and Drake. I watched Drake play in the what is that? I can't even think of their conference. But they played a really spry Indiana State team, and that was a great game. They have all the good things that they need to win basketball games. So looky there as a 10 seed that might be able to sneak past Washington State. Although Washington State plays some pretty good ball this year too. Out there, Iowa State might be playing the best basketball in the country going into this tournament. Got to give them some big props. So And then and you know what? And if you go based on conference and stuff, you're probably correct. We'll see how that plays out. Uh, Everybody, be sure to get in your brackets and get your 2 picks in if you're going to do 2. I'm probably only going to do 1 just because I don't want to try to keep up with 2. But then you go down to the next, and that gets us through there. And I'm not going to go through the Sweet 16 games and see who makes the Elite Eight. Not doing it. But North Carolina coming in. The Mississippi State, Michigan State team game feels like 2 teams that limped in, but North Carolina always feels vulnerable to me. Jake, what's up, my brother? Nice to see you. Good to see you. St. Mary's and Grand Canyon. St. Mary's is probably the class out of the IMS, whatever West Coast Conference. Yeah, that's it. It's the first time I don't think we've had just as much emphasis on St. Mary's as we do Gonzaga, although they do seem to be on the same seed line, probably because Mark Few has just earned that right for an extra seed line there. But St. Mary's Grand Canyon, probably a good game for St. Mary's to get us started. Alabama and Charlestown, that looks like a dandy to me as well. I'm not ready to pick somebody in that. College of Charlestown can really get up and down the court. Style of play makes it kind of tough. Nate Oates in Alabama is another really interesting team. I know the SEC got the most love in the tournament this year, I believe. So I like that game. It could be a blowout, but it could be a dandy as well. Clemson and New Mexico. I'm not so sure how I feel about that game. I really don't have much to say on that end. That could be that to me. That looks like a toss up, honestly. Baylor and Colgate. Oh, Indiana State did get snubbed. Oh, that's who got snubbed. Indiana State had a great season. I have got to go back and look at their net. But wow, that is nuts. This is my first time going through the bracket, you guys. So some of the things I hadn't heard yet. Oh yeah, I think that is a snub. Honestly, I do. They're not in a great conference, but I think their overall scope should have given them at least a play-in game, to be honest. And that's what I didn't even go back to. The play-in games in the first 4. As soon as I finish this bracket, we'll go down here and touch on those really quick. Clemson, New Mexico, I'm just going to call it a toss-up right now. Baylor and Colgate. Baylor is probably the better team. Never can tell with a 3-14. We always have one of the top 4 seeds on the top 4 seed lines get kicked at. Somebody gets beat on day 1. What's up, Philip? Yeah, they should be in. I just now am noticing that I just got set up and I came down here and I was looking at it and I haven't even gotten halfway through the bracket yet. Going fast here, looking after Baylor and Colgate. Dayton Flyers in Nevada. Nevada got in as an at-large, or did they win their conference? I'm not sure. But they had 6 teams in that Mountain West. The 6 teams in that Mountain West, they should have had the Indiana State should have took one of those guys out. There's Sports Cat. What's up? But Dayton and Nevada. Dayton had a pretty good season as well. And then there is Arizona and Long Beach State. That should be Arizona should be able to get their foot in the door for the tournament with that one. Mark, you're getting trolled by, Sports Cat might be pushing 14 now. So the first 4, Howard and Wagner. How did Virginia get in the tournament? Yeah, I agree, Jake. Colorado State has played some good basketball this year. Grambling and Montana State, and Colorado and Boise State. The Colorado-Boise State game looks interesting to me, but I still think Indiana State should be in at this point. But I haven't studied all of it, don't know. But that's kind of a bum. St. John's had a 41 Ken Palm, and we're not even in the first 4 out. Man, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a little looking on the selection stuff. We're going to stroll back up here, and we are going to hit what region is that? The South. Houston earned a 1 seed this year. Kelvin Sampson's got that group of guys playing great, but looking forward to the second round. Nebraska and Texas A&M in the first round. Let's talk about that. That could be a dandy of a game. I'm a huge Tominaga fan for Nebraska. The Japanese Steph Curry, he can light it up. Also, Texas A&M is playing some really good basketball. I believe they knocked Kentucky out of the SEC. Ian's in the house. What's up, Ian? Relics. That looks like a great game to me, honestly. I'm looking forward to that one as well. FAU and Northwestern, Nebraska, and Texas A&M. I've got my Big Ten teams that's got some games I want to watch. Wisconsin and James Madison. For you all upset hoes out there, that definitely looks like a game that could be a potential. Just because James Madison early in the season this year did a really good job in a game against Michigan State. If you're looking for an upset in the first round, although I think Michigan's a better team, or Wisconsin's a better team, but JMU has the right pedigree for the win, and we know how the 5-12 games go. So, all right, that's another dandy in the first round that I'm looking forward to seeing. Good job, Sports Cat. Make them 2 brackets. Perfect. Looking at the next line on that is the Duke and Vermont. Duke has stumbled in their tournament a little bit, but I don't begrudge teams that stumble in their conference tournament early. They at least will have their legs underneath of them for the first 2 rounds of the NCAA, and I think that gives them a little bit of an advantage instead of playing 4 games in 4 days or 3 games in 4 days, whatever it is. But yeah, the Catamounts of Vermont. Texas Tech and NC State. NC State is probably the team by stealing a bid there that probably took Indiana State out of the bracket. It definitely, them winning the ACC probably knocked Indiana State out, I would have to say. Texas Tech, I haven't watched any this year. I'm going to be honest, haven't seen them play. I've watched a little bit of NC State over the last couple of days. They're hot right now. Do they have the legs after winning 5 games in that tournament or something like that? Something crazy. Do they have the legs? We'll see. Playing Texas Tech. Right now, that's a possibility for an upset as well. That's a double-digit seed. And then Kentucky playing Oakland. Kentucky's team, I think, is built for a run this year, and it breaks my heart to say that. I think they have the possibility of doing so. I just feel different about this team, and it's not like the others from years past. They had Oklahoma as the first out, and Indiana State was third. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch much of some of these teams I haven't seen play this year. Actually, a lot of those smaller teams I haven't seen play. Kentucky Oakland looks like a smash fest. Kentucky looks like they got a fairly easy opportunity to get into the Sweet 16. Getting down here at the bottom, Florida plays one of the play-in teams. Marquette, kind of sketchy. Western Kentucky at a 15 seed. For all you Indiana fans that are in the house today, Western Kentucky features one Christian Lander, former 5-star recruit out of Evansville, who plays on that team. So if you want to watch a former Hoosier play, Western Kentucky might be your jam. And Sports Cat's got Western Kentucky beating Marquette. Sports Cat's on this upset business, man. He likes the underdog. And then finally, that's going to bring us down to the Midwest. And Purdue gets one of the play-in teams, and then they get the winner of Utah State and Texas Christian. That is if Purdue makes it out. I'm not going to say any 1 seed is a lock anymore. TCU, Big 12, Utah State. Is that I guess that's another Mountain West team. I'm going to have to do some research on this Mountain West because I'm trying to figure out how so many teams are in this tournament. That doesn't even seem right. Doesn't seem fair, honestly. Looking at it again, Gonzaga and McNeese. McNeese State, I know that they can score. I'm not sure. I think it'll be a matchup problem for Gonzaga. That gives you an opportunity when you can get out and play a different style of basketball. Maybe they can win that one. I'm not a big Gonzaga fan. Kansas and Sanford. Kansas looks like it's got a pretty good shot here to get through this section. They do have they have seniority. They have the older players. They got great depth. They've got a good wing. Look for them in the Sweet 16. Looking forward to a Purdue and Kansas matchup. I think that might be fair enough. South Carolina and Oregon. Another game that I'm not. It's hard. I'm gonna call that one a pick'em as well. Feels kind of like a wash game. That'll be another one where somebody can get an early up on everybody else because I think it looks like a toss up to me. Creighton, I'm really impressed with. Creighton took UConn, and it was on their home court, but laid a big butt whooping on them. And Akron, the Zips, they always have a little bit of March possibility as well. So that ought to be a decent looking game, but I think Creighton's a better team. Nothing really stands out so far in that bracket. Texas is a 7. They get a winner of a play-in. Looks like a pretty smooth road if Tennessee can handle their business to get at least to the round of 16. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot there. I'm kind of unimpressed with this bracket. I'm not going to lie. And I feel like, everybody picking UConn, man, it looks like they may have about the hardest bracket that's out there. Um, that East looks brutal. FAU and Northwestern are both going to be able to present a challenge for UConn. Both have experienced backcourts and really good big play and decent depth. Auburn is down in that bracket as well. Another team that I really think has got a lot of potential. And then the bottom half, Illinois and Iowa State are two of the hottest teams in college basketball right now. The East looks like it's brutal. Just going to point that out there. And let's see. Let's drop this down. Let's see what else everybody else has to say. Sports Cat's got all them predictions out there. Everybody, be sure to get in the challenge. I'm going to pick a game as soon as I figure out which one works best for me. I'll pick a game, and we'll be in here for that. At least one game, hopefully a day. Maybe it'll be just Saturday and Sunday. Thursday and Friday will be kind of a mess. I might just be in here chilling, just kind of going through scores and hanging out. So if anybody just wants to hang, Nebraska and Houston, man, I think that's a possibility. I could not believe how that Kensei Tominaga and that team can get it together and shoot. Even with good defense in their face, they light it up pretty well. So I was Nebraska knocked my Hoosiers to hell and back the other night, so that'll definitely be a dandy to watch. Watch out, Cat. Looking forward. So let's just say that probably Friday, at some point in time, I might have a pop-up live just to kind of talk about what we've seen so far, and I might do a game definitely on Saturday and Sunday evening. I might do one game each day just to kind of keep everybody hanging out and see how it goes. It's definitely got a vibe to it this year that I'm not that super fond of. This tournament looks to be kind of weird. I haven't had a chance to digest it I'm going to go through it pretty well later tonight and pick out some stuff. But the one seeds, we'll see which one survives. The early outs in the conference tournament, I don't necessarily think that is a bad thing. And these teams that come in hot, let's see if they can stay hot. Yeah, Colin, I'm definitely looking forward to some of the first round games. I definitely want to see. I definitely want to see the FAU Northwestern game. That looks to be high on my list. And Nebraska, Texas A&M. Those two teams have met each other at a really good point. I think those should be really good. And Houston is going to have their hands full in that bracket. Uh, like I said earlier, just on the initial look, I think JMU has a chance against Wisconsin. As Wisconsin, even though Wisconsin made it all the way to the finals, they are very inconsistent, and they've been kind of going as AJ Storr goes on that team. If they get him shut down, sometimes it's a little hard for their guards to get going. We'll know about the NIT at 8:30. Well, Lindsay, I hope your Bearcats decide to play in that. I know that Indiana opted out because they have recruiting issues, and they definitely need to get them sorted through. I do know that if anybody is in here for the Indiana portion of this talk, um, that Malik Renew was very quiet about his future, so I have a feeling that maybe this off season is going to be busier than what we had thought. But at the same time, Khalil Ware was not so certain that he was ready to be a high first round pick. So we'll see how it progresses. I know that Monday opens up transfer portal stuff. I know Indiana has a couple targets. Definitely looking forward to seeing how they fill out this roster, who leaves, and maybe we can see by the way the roster fills out and who stays. Maybe we'll see the reason why Liam McNeely decommitted. But I'm still betting that Furphy from Kansas goes to the draft and that he fills that void in Kansas under Bill Self. That's my guess. If I had to take a second choice, I would take Rutgers right now, or somewhere in that area, because there's other guys there, and that because of a top recruiting class coming in there. But that's neither here nor there. Thursday night, definitely. Friday, you can look for me to be in here for sure. Maybe we'll do a little digesting of what happened on Thursday. Saturday, maybe for a game or just hanging out. So we're going to do something. But getting this March Madness thing rolling in here, everybody be sure to smash your brackets, get them done, and get them ready to rock. Close your eyes, point and click. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. What's up, Trevor? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. 513 Diggs is in the house. Let's see. Big week for me. I might not be able to catch any games, but thanks for all you do. Hey, Jake, much love, brother. I just wanted to come in here. I am going to take a couple minutes now to kind of digest what happened at IU this year. What's up, Rick? Uh, I think everybody is fast to point fingers and make blame on things that are kind of out of people's control. Not that I'm the biggest Coach Woodson fan, but I think the fans getting involved with the media and us here on social media or on this platform really make it kind of can make a really huge detriment because I've been watching Indiana Sports Connection, Aaron, and he's been very decisive in what he believes. He's put some well-produced videos out there, and really, he has a belief that Coach Woodson was a big part of the problem, and that can resonate somewhere else. I mean, when you start saying something on the internet and people repeat it, it kind of makes it true. So I'm going to be very careful about how I choose my words. Not saying that I influence anybody, but I don't want to start a trend that because we don't know what goes on behind coach doors. Coach Woodson did get another year. He's very arrogant. Um, the first thing he really needs to do is check his narcissism, because that's what he wanted to talk about in a post game. I feel like that is the wrong way to go about it. You always talk about your players. Don't talk about your job. You know what? You're a state employee. You should have to answer the questions that are presented to you. uh, but let's give him a little bit of credit. And I think I've come to my final conclusion, at least for the first few years. So what's happened is that he got Trace Jackson Davis's game ready for the NBA. He also got Jalen Hood Schifino ready in 1 year. He's really good at player development, be it the individual. Look at the progress that Malik Renew's made from freshman to sophomore. He's still struggling in spots, but look at his progress. Look at Khalil Ware this year. His individual progress has been amazing. They said that kid didn't have a motor. He can go, and he's not bulky. Mackenzie Mbako, we almost, we couldn't put him on the floor. He couldn't stay on the floor early in the season because his defense was so god awful. So Coach Woodson is an NBA coach that knows how to develop players. He hasn't yet created a culture, uh, and he's not yet got it to the point where it is where it's a team effort. He can develop guys as individuals. He hasn't figured out how to build a team. You can't just put 5 talented guys on the floor without finding a way to have them mesh with one another. And I think that's part of his learning process in the college game. However, this university, this state, these fans are not going to give him another couple years. He better put a good product on the table next year, create a culture as a team, continue your individual development for your players, but you've got to really work on the team aspect of it. They gave away a lot of games this year because they didn't know how to stick together as a team. Tip times are up. Thank you, Panther. Good to see you, my friend. But I think that's the biggest problem with Coach Woodson. I think that he's a narcissist, and being the 13th highest paid college coach, I think he thinks he just has to go out here and practice and get these guys on the floor. But you know what? Free throw shooting is a really big part of what they got to do. I think they need better conditioning, but they got to work out as a team. And this year, that's what it's going to be all about. I think that's where he struggled. I think that's where he failed them this year, is that he did a great job of developing as individuals, just not as a team. But you guys, I'm definitely I will try to put up some kind of a schedule. Oh, getting shooters. Yeah, that's another thing, Jake. Gabe Cups is coming along. Hopefully he stays. There is a possibility that Mbako comes back. So, they have an opportunity with 4 or 5 guys coming back next year, especially with Leal and Galloway. Anthony Leal should play a little bit more. Looking forward to seeing that, because he earned a spot. Let's see who all transfers out. Look for me. If I get news, I will post on the community tab and in the Discord. Good to see you, Sam. Closing out the season this year for Indiana, but as things kind of progress on the recruiting front, I will definitely do a better job this year of making this a 365 forum. We'll be able to chat it out, dropping in a few live streams every now and again just to hang out with you guys, and hopefully we get something going for next year. Let's get ready for some college football. Let's watch this tournament together. I will see you guys Friday for sure. I'll post a time. I'll get something posted up as soon as I know. What were your thoughts on Woodson getting ejected from what? Ejected from where? When did he get ejected? What's up, Brian? Zompocalypse is in the house. Shinksy. I don't know that he did get ejected. When did he get ejected? Dude, hold up. Panther? Uh, oh, that's probably because for the first time this season, I turned it off. With about 10 minutes to go in the second half, I gave up. I quit. I quit on my team. I turned it off. I did not know that. I didn't see it, but I'm going to watch it. Let me see. I got to say that I am definitely happy about Xavier Johnson graduating, although he was the glue. He definitely was the glue that got them back together, but he was a leader and he's supposed to do that. And with, but you got to stay healthy, at least some part. Let's see. Uh, Tominaga lit it up. You cannot defend that guy. Come on, I want to see it. I'm looking for it. Hold on. Oh, that's not the same thing. Dang it. I'll see if I can find a video on it. He quit too with 5 minutes to go. Absolutely. Anybody just coming in the description, click the link and get you to the March Madness pick'em. I definitely, Sam, I have no idea yet, sir. I will post in the Discord as soon as I have it figured out what my schedule will allow. I might just be in here hanging out watching basketball and letting it run. So anybody that is watching, not necessarily calling games, but hanging out, just kind of having a true watch party that keeps scores up and stuff like that. Um, I ain't decided what I want to do yet. It sucks that Indiana's not playing, that I don't have a real team to root for. I am going to root for Big Ten teams. I'm definitely rooting for Illinois and Nebraska for sure. I really like those two. And I'm going to start putting together a program for the off season. Baseball talk is coming soon. I do want to get in here about free agency in the NFL and where everybody stands. And with the draft coming, definitely. Not Purdue. Jake, I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. I feel like Wisconsin can get upset on Friday. I do, and I kind of am going to want to root for Purdue. I don't know why. I want a Big Ten team to win this year because they talked about how bad the Big Ten was. The Mountain West and the Big Ten should not be even in the same breath of each other as far as you know uh, getting teams into the tournament. I think this committee this year is jacked up. I really feel like Indiana State should have been in, and that would have been who I'd have been cheering for sure. Right now, I do want to cheer for Drake a little bit. I think they're a good team. Uh, I can cheer for anybody. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, I did want to come in here for a little while tonight. Thank you guys for stopping in and supporting. I'll be back on Friday for sure. And we'll definitely have a watch party Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at some point, I think. I want to see Texas Tech do well. Yeah, I don't even know who's coaching there after Chris Beard left. No, I'm just Alex. You guys are cool. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you guys on the next one. Uh, get your brackets turned in. Let's see who can win. Amazon gift card. Yeah, buddy.